Hi guys, Grumblekeen here with supplyblocked.com. We've got a 2v2 cast for you today. Gellis, a friend of mine, and I playing Protoss. She's playing Terran. Against some people we don't know, also playing Protoss and Terran, oddly enough. And I'm going to show my education in the game here and not be able to tell you what map this is. I do not remember the name. I think this is the first time that either of us had played on it, so it's kind of an interesting game. It's really long, so I'm fast forwarding through the opening part here, where we're going to do a bunch of nothing for the first 7 minutes or so. And oh, here's some early Gellis pressure. She usually does the first pushes and the scouting and stuff, because she's better early off. I'm kind of slow, so I tend to concentrate on that sort of thing. Now, look at this. Nice little Reaver pile here. I think this is the first time they're going to get a look at what we're doing, and interestingly enough, they don't really seem to be all that interested in scouting. They are trying to find us, and, well, you'll see what happens in a second. And I don't know what I'm doing with those. Maybe I'm have a little ESP and feel a Reaper harass coming. So, oh, look at that. Nope, she hasn't expanded yet. Now, this happens a lot. I'm sure you've noticed. You played at early level bronze, or perhaps even higher level. The typical Terran Reaper harass. And, yep, it's typical, and yep, it's kind of not that exciting. But it can really change the early game. As you can see, Gellis is down to no resource gathering at all. But even more interesting, once this is wiped and she gets out those mules, it brings her right back to where she was before. It just shows the power of those mules if you're Terran. Getting those out when you get a new expansion out, or getting them out if you get in trouble. Always a good thing to do. And nice, pretty fast expansion, I guess, for our Protoss on the other side there. And I think that I'm about to do some form of expansion here in a moment. And look at that poor little probe being ignored. Oh, and I got an observer out, and it's just sitting there. Not very smart. Okay, let's speed this up a little here. Kind of just sitting around. Lots of sitting around in this game, which is, I think, one of my first points I want to make is we do it too much sitting around, and it's something that we've been trying to fix. We notice that we do this, and we spend an inordinate amount of time getting ready for pushes, and then we make the push, and by the time we make the push, it's too late, and we don't have any control. You'll notice that there's no pressure on this expansion. He has no real significant defense. We could easily take this out if we cooperated. And you'll note that the Terran doesn't really have much of a defense either, and we could probably take him out pretty easily with just some organized effort. He's got nothing on the south end here. If you look at us, we really don't have much either. Careful roundabout air attack could easily get us. So, finally a little bit of action here, and I think she's just nosing around trying to figure out what's going on. Everyone's kind of walled in over here. Ouch. Notice we're 16, 17 minutes into the game now, and we haven't really had any action of any kind. We've got a couple little mini skirmishes, some Reaper harass, but that's about it. So, let's speed this up a little bit again. And, oh, Dark Shrine. I wonder what I'm going to be playing with. I think I forget about that for quite a while, though, because, you know, I'm not that smart. And Gellis sticking pretty strong to the land army. She has not gone air at all, and 3 Stargates, and they're not doing anything. Oh, now they are. Hooray. Oh, Void Rays. How I hate you and how I love you at the same time. Oh, and look at this. Our Protoss is building up carriers. Now, here's where I think things kind of start to get a little interesting. Both of our competition are playing really competitively. You know, I kind of glossed over that battle, but it was a battle, and it happened, and I don't think either side could be considered victorious. It's just the sort of skirmish that continuously seems to happen. And, oh, he saw my proxy, but he did not, in fact, find my cleverly hidden observer. And while he was distracted doing that, I tried this nice little push with these Void Rays. Not all that useful. Oh. Stealthed Banshees. Probably not the best thing to send in without a little bit of scouting first, because I thought of that. And prepared with some... Oh, but Gallus did not put any detectors out. Now, I don't want to say that I prepared for this with careful pre-planning. It's one of those stupid things that I think a lot of new players end up doing. They prepare for things that have happened to them in the past. I didn't have any good insight as to what my opponent was doing, so I just built that out of, gee, you know, what could happen if someone comes in? You know, I don't have any detection, and I don't know that they're trying to detect me. So yeah, I should have had some form of scout over here, because this guy's going to do something a little interesting later on in the game that would have been really nice to know about. And it would have been really nice to know about these mass carriers as well. Well, sort of mass, quite a few. But playing really defensively still, he could easily have wiped me out with those carriers right now if he wanted to, I think, because I don't really have all that much of a defense against them. Particularly if he like popped a proxy and started sending troops in, because I don't have much of a defense against that either. But I really like this map because of how close it forces you to play, particularly if you're next to each other like we are here. I mean, look at this. Just a quick little pop over by air and you're in your opponent's base. And this nice little place for you to hide a proxy. You can't see it very easily if he's not looking for it. And if you put it up on your high ground, you can send troops down into here. Not that that's all that useful. But I think I was also screwing around with this warp prism at some point and probably missed it in the video. Sorry about that. Looks like she forgot to set a rally point. So, more building up, more building up, more building up. I don't believe that... Yeah, if you look, we're not... Nobody's really making significant production here. I've got some room in my supply. Gellus's army's kind of small. The Terran isn't really doing anything yet. I don't think he I mean, there's no pushing at all here. And I think it's important to make note of this, because once again, if we had been applying more pressure more often, what's going to happen here in a few minutes could not have happened. Definitely not without us knowing about it, but just this massing of high-level units, and now a mothership. There's no way we should have let this happen. There's no way we should have let this happen. And I think you probably can guess where this is going. We've got multiple starports. We've got sudden jumps in supply. Well, actually, he hasn't done that yet, but he's going to do that in a moment. There it is. Sudden jumps in supply. Where's the little, what the hell is it called? The fleet, not the fleet beacon, but the, you know what I mean, the thing that makes you, there it is, fusion core. So he's going to mass, whatchamacallits here in a minute. But he's still going Banshee. I think he doesn't realize that we have fairly good detection. I know that Gellus has a few Ravens deployed. I have some observers out. I don't think he would have gone that route if he had been scouting and noticed our detection. Anyhow, this is where things start to get interesting. So this push was actually an attempt to get rid of this expansion, and it kind of doesn't work out all that well because of this mass carrier and mothership. My void rays go down, stalkers go down, and although we do some, you know, fair amounts of damage, things just don't go as planned for us. So we really wanted to take that expansion out completely. But I'm building up this nice little Dark Templar army, and that Dark Templar army is going very heavily into the later game. So, Gellus in the meantime has set up a third expansion. I'm still with 2. Let's see what production looks like. Yeah, pretty nice. Gellus is actually quite a bit ahead of everyone else. I don't really know what this Protoss is doing. Oh, that's right, because I destroyed all of his little probies. And so finally we realized, well, let's not let these guys expand. So we have all this room to expand. Let's keep them from moving any further than these 2 bases and their naturals. And we could do that because they're so non-aggressive. They're not pushing at us. They're just waiting for this mass. And I'm going to link you this video where Day 9 actually talks about this whole building the big army, the ultimate army of doom to defeat your ultimate army of doom. And we don't attack until the ultimate army of doom is ready. And it's just kind of, he calls it sort of a noob way to play, the way that people start off. They don't have